Hey, what's going on, good people? This is Travail C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, and this is the I Am the Possible universe. Welcome. Listen, guys, as much as I would love to attempt to juggle these tennis balls, I think I bet not. I mean, I got a lot of equipment up here, right? I mean, listen, guys, I would love nothing more than to show you my juggling skills. Now, just playing. I have no juggling skills whatsoever. If I attempted to juggle these balls, guys, it would be a mess. The live would be down, the mic would be busted, the screen, the camera, oh my goodness. But I wanted to illustrate something, and I'm not able to do it, but at least I'll show you some visuals to tie into today's message. Guys, listen, today we're talking about living the life of a performer. I want to ask you a question. Has your life become one big performance? Are you at a place in your life where you desire approval so bad? You're looking for, affirmation. You're looking for validation. You're looking for approval. I mean, you want it so desperately that everything has become an act. No matter what you do, it feels like you're stepping on a stage to perform for someone else so that they can validate you, so that they can approve you. Right? Has your life become one big performance? Are you feeling the pressure to perform? It's like you're always on stage, like you have to always be on. You have to wear a mask. You have to show the better side of yourself. You have to show up for people. You have to be this caricature. You have to be this avatar. You have to be this person for everyone around you. If that's you, then today's broadcast is dedicated to you. Guys, I'm going to be right back in just one moment. Let me play my intro and get ready to share with you the fact that you don't have to continue to perform. You don't have to continue to be under this pressure. That weight, that load, that stress doesn't have to continue to be a part of your life. I'll see you back here in 1 second. All right. We are back, guys. Today we are talking about performing and being a performer. I want to meet some people right where they are. But before we do that, guys, I want to say, if you're joining me live or on the replay, as I always say, your presence is the greatest present that you guys could ever give me. So if you're jumping on live, drop me a hashtag live. If you're on the replay, drop me a hashtag replay. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Drop your city, drop your state, drop anything. Just let me know that you're in the building, because there is a time that during this broadcast, I want to give some special shout out and some salutes. Guys, I want to kind of level set today's broadcast, as I hope to do with every broadcast going forward. And that is by sharing really the mission of I Am the Possible. Now, one thing I've come to understand is that missions, right? Mission statements, they're really for the owner of a business, or really for the founder or for their employees. But I want to also just communicate and be very clear about the intention of this broadcast, because this broadcast isn't for everyone. And I want you to know that if you're watching right now, or if you're catching it on the replay, if you're wondering, is this the right place for me? Is this content something that I should subscribe to, or something that I should be a part of? Then I want you to know my intention. I want you to know the mission of I Am the Possible. Okay. I Am the Possible. Our mission is to help individuals to revive their hope for what's possible. That's right. To revive your hope for what's possible. Now, what's possible is as infinite as there is individuals. And that's what's so wonderful about it, because your possible may not be my possible, right? Some people's possible is buying a house one day and they don't feel like they're able to. Another person's possible might be feeling accepted and they currently don't feel like they're able to. Well, we want to revive that hope for whatever that possible is for you. And we do that in two ways, right? Number one, we communicate information, ideas, concepts, right, around things that promote what's possible in your life, right? Those things that support what's possible. And then secondly, we want to educate, we want to expose, we want to bring some things to the light, right? Out the darkness into the light, some things that are preventing what's possible in your life. So we're very clear about what it is that we're doing here in the I Am the Possible universe. And I just wanted to level set that just a bit for the first time. And I just want to begin that trend each week to let people know exactly what it is that we're looking to do here. So guys, let's get into it. This performer mentality, this performance mentality. It is this concept, this mindset, this idea that, and sometimes it's you do it and you don't even notice that you're doing it, right? Sometimes you're just in this performance mindset and you're unaware of it. But it seems like everything you do on the backside of it, you're wondering to yourself, was I good enough? Did they like me? Did they approve of me? Did I nail it? Was that performance good enough? And when it really gets bad, guys, and that's why I said I want to meet some people where they are today, because I've been a victim of this mindset, right? And I still must daily, have that edifying self-talk to get myself out of that stinking thinking, right? That pressure to perform. And I'm going to be sharing with you some personal stories today from my own life, some personal experiences. I'm going to be giving you some tools, some tips, some tricks that's going to help you to be able to get out of that thinking if that's where you are, to relieve yourself of that pressure if that's where you are. So if you are someone who is just living life like you're on a stage, no matter what it is that you find yourself doing, it always feels like you're under judgment, like you're under pressure, like you're not good enough, like you're always, criticizing yourself, right? That internal self-talk is just bombarding your brain. If that's you, then today I want to offer you something different. Okay. So I want to share my screen, guys. I want to share my screen again. If you're jumping on live or on the replay, well, if you're on the replay, then just drop a hashtag, I am approved. That's the hashtag for today. I am approved, because at the root, right? At the root of this performance mindset, it's us just trying to experience the approval that we were created to experience. But there's two ways that we can go about that. And I want to educate. I want to expound on those two different ways that we can approach getting the approval that we desire in life. One is a very healthy way. The other is a very unhealthy way, right? And so we're going to dive right into this. All right. And if you're on live, man, drop me a hashtag, I am approved. You are already approved. Go ahead and claim it before you even know why. Go ahead and say it before you even understand it. But I want to know that you're in the building. This is not a monologue. Saturday mornings, this is a dialogue. We are going back and forth with this content. All right. And with this discussion. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Look at this. I'm already that is so perfect that I started on the wrong slide, because that truly illustrates the essence of today's broadcast. That was dope. Like, I didn't even plan to start on the wrong slide. That was just phenomenal that I started on the wrong slide, because that points out something that later on I really want to help you guys to grasp. Okay. All right. So today, guys, we're looking at the fact that we have a choice in life. We always have choices, right? And if you are a performer, if you're someone who is performing, looking for people's approval, guys, you don't have to stay there. The first thing that I want to bring to your attention is you don't have to stay there, but it begins with an acknowledgement. Okay. So the first thing is, are you performing or are you practicing? Now, you may not even understand what practicing is right now, right? But that's the other option. Okay. But you have to ask yourself, am I living in a performance state or a practicing state? How are you living your life? That's the first question, right? How am I living my life? If you guys are on live, drop me a hashtag perform or hashtag practice, right? If you understand what practice is, give me a hashtag practice. But guys, let me know where you are. Are you performing for everyone, looking for their approval, or are you living your life like it's practice? And I'm going to be breaking down what that whole practice is in just a moment. Hold on tight. Here we go. All right, let me get back over here to my slides. Let me get back to my slides. All right, here we go. Number one, I want to validate you Oh my goodness, yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I want to validate you guys. Matter of fact, let me just pause for the cause. If you are on live and you feel, well, I ain't gonna even say feel late. I'm gonna just ask you, right? And if you so choose, please do so. Share this broadcast out. Before we get into a gang of information, guys, there are people out there who are suffering from this performance mindset. They are suffering from this need to be approved and getting people's approval. And before I dive into a whole bunch of content, guys, go ahead and share this video out. Share this broadcast out. Let people know that it's available. Tag somebody, share it to somebody, hit somebody up in the DM, in the messenger, and say, hey, man, hey, the broadcast is on. The universe is popping, right? We about to get some good information here. We about to elevate. We about to advance. We about to see our possibilities be revived. Okay, so go ahead and get excited about it and get someone else excited about it. Pay it forward. Don't consume everything for yourself. All right, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Share this information out. All right, guys, let's dive into it. Number one, we all seek approval, and it's okay. I want you to understand that at the root of like humanity, man, we all want to feel approved. We all want to feel like our lives are validated, right? Like our lives matter, man. Like we have a place in this world. And I want you to know that that feeling within you, that is not a bad feeling, right? Now, the way that if you're a person of faith, the way that the devil can corrupt that, if you just a person, maybe you're not a person of faith, but you like people can corrupt that, society can corrupt that desire, right? But bottom line, man, however you want to, name it and frame it and cut it and slice it, we all want to feel approved. It's a good feeling. It's natural, right? It's human. We are human, man. It's okay to want to feel like you fit in and that other people recognize and other people acknowledge that your life matters. Okay. So before we get into anything else, I want to validate you. I want to look at you in this virtual eyeball and tell you today that you are approved. And I'm gonna be sharing why. Okay. I'm always give proof to my proclamations. You feel me? I'm always provide some proof. But I want to lead out the gate with letting you know, because you might just keep sliding. You might keep on swiping up. You might keep going to something else. And before you swipe up, before you move on to another video, before you shut Facebook down, before you shut YouTube down, before you get away from me, I want to let you know, I want to plant that seed. You are approved, and your seeking of approval in and of itself, it's okay. It's okay. All right, guys, let's jump into this thing. Oh, yeah, got the curtains. See, because the whole theme today is about being on this stage of life, being this performer, right? Being someone who is looking for approval. So you approach everything in your life like a performance. Guys, this is the performance life. And maybe if you are that person like I was and really am this recovering performer, this is the mindset. This is the framework of someone who lives on stage, right? Many of us that's watching right now, we're not in Hollywood, man. I'm not Denzel, right? You feel me? I'm not Denzel, man. I'm not an actor. I don't get paid to act, but I can treat life as if it's an act, as if it's a performance. And here's the framework. The framework of a performer is the critic. You're judging the merit of yourself. And you usually find a very unfavorable opinion of yourself. I want to draw your attention to something very important. Guys, 9 times out of 10 is not what other people are saying. It's our own self-talk. 9 times out of 10 is not what other people are saying. It's our own self-talk. And we become, as they say, our own worst critic. Now, I was doing some research on this, and I don't know a ton about it, but I am committed to learning more about it so that I can serve at an even greater level and with a greater capacity. But this need for approval, this need to perform for people, to get their yay and nay, it comes from our upbringing, right? It's formed in our formative years when mom and dad or grandma, like for me, right? We would reach for something and would hit that hand. Nope, don't do that. Or, you're going to sing in the school's recital. I don't know, you're up on stage and you grab the mic and you got your solo and you sing and the crowd goes wild. And now you feel approved. You feel validated, right? Whoa, hey man, that feels good. Whoa, I did this and I got a standing ovation. Okay, that feels good. I did that and mom popped my hand. That didn't feel good, right? And so a lot of what we carry into our adult years, right? It was cultivated in those formative years when we learned yes and no, approved and disapproved. I like that and I don't like that, right? So just to give you a little bit of background, but again, I don't want to speak too much on it because I'm just new to that information and I'm starting to dive into it because I really want to level up my love, as I say. And the way that I do that is by growing in my capacity to actually serve you guys by understanding more about this thing. So I'll stop there. All right. So guys, 3 of the biggest issues when it comes to living the performance life. Number 1, we always compare. We're always comparing ourselves, man. Yep, I did that, but now I got to look at that person. Now, for me, let me just say really quickly, as someone in broadcasting, podcasting, communications, a speaker, a preacher, it's easy for me to look at that pastor and say, oh man, he's way more dynamic. I can look at that public speaker or that motivational speaker and say, oh man, he's on fire. Oh man, he got a way greater skill set. Oh man, he got a way greater capacity to serve. And we compare ourselves instead of appreciating and applauding our accomplishments, our progress. We want to compare ourselves with other people. And when we get into comparisons, we never win because we never measure up, because our measuring stick is off. We're always trying to measure up to someone else. And usually who you're measuring yourself up against is further along. They've been doing this thing a lot longer than you have, and you have the nerve to compare yourself and then dig on yourself when you're comparing. You've been in the game 5 years. They've been in the game 25 years. They've experienced a whole lot more. They've done a whole lot more. They've seen a whole lot more. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's just a side note. Okay, let's get into this. Comparing, judgment. You have a judgment mentality, and then you have this win-loss mentality. Your life as a performer, and when I say you, I'm speaking to me as well. We as performers, we measure everything in win and loss. Oh man, I knocked that performance out the park. Oh man, I stunk on that performance. Instead of, like we're about to get into, instead of having a healthy assessment of ourselves, a healthy respect for our own personal progress, we just look at it as black and white, man. Win and loss. I did it or I didn't do it. I nailed it or I failed, right? This uber failure, right? We just feel like an uber failure. And I don't even know if people still using that word uber or not, but I'm going to use it for today. And if it's played out, somebody drop me a hashtag Uber is played out, and that'll be that. All right. But for today, until I see it on the screen, I'm going to use Uber because Uber means huge. And people feel like huge failures in life because you're performing. You're performing. Guys, I want to pause for the cause just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen for just a moment. And I'm going to come back over here and say what up to some of these good people that's jumping on. And then I'm going to get back to our regularly scheduled program. John Proctor, what's going on? My brother from another mother, JP, is in the building. He is live from the amazing Pasadena, California. That is my mentor, financial mentor, guys, right there. That is a good brother inside and out, all the way around. He's taught me so much. Yo, JP, matter of fact, bro, it was funny, man. I was in the archives this week. JP, look at me, boy. Yeah, I was in the archives. Now, listen, John, JP, listen, man. This says from the library of John Proctor. I don't know if you can see that or not. If my light shining too bright, from the library of Rusty Proctor. See, listen, I ain't forgot them. They still yours. They just in my possession. But brother, listen, man, I was in the archives today and yesterday morning, man. So that's funny that you jumped on this morning. Thank you for rocking with me. Oh my goodness, mama is in the building. Oh my goodness, I must have done something special. My prayers must have been answered. This is my mama, y'all. Mama, see, I ain't even got a dope phrase like brother from another mother. This is mama from another. I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. But listen, this is a dear sister, part of Pasadena Church. Shout out and salute to Pasadena Church. But this is a dear sister, a dear prophetess, a dear minister, just a mom to me and to my wife and just to our family. Sister Wendy, thank you so much for joining today's broadcast. Hopefully you can stick around for the whole broadcast. We normally go about an hour because I do so much talking. And again, I want it to be a dialogue. I want to chop it up and kind of be with people, not just hammer you with a whole bunch of content. The content's going to get there, but I also want to interact with you guys. But thank you so much for rocking with me this morning. I appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. P.I. is in the building. My brother is live and direct from the great Ohio. What's going on with your boy? What's happening? Tatrice is in the house. Philadelphia in the building. What's going on, my sister? What's happening? Yes. Angeline, the Big Apple, live from New York City. Yes, Angeline, thank you so much for rocking with me and the broadcast and the universe. Guys, y'all presence, man. It's all about y'all, man. Y'all presence. You give me energy. The energy comes from the good people. Thank you guys so much. Yes, hashtag stinking thinking, right? Angeline, hashtag stinking thinking. Yes, I am approved. Thank you. I am approved. Say it, declare it, right? Sometimes we must confess what we want to create, right? Sometimes we must confess what we want to create. Our words create worlds. We all on the same earth, but we all have our own world. So our words create our world. So we must confess what we want to create. Our words have power, life and death right here. So thank you guys for I am approved, even if you don't feel like it. But I know you guys feel like it. I know you guys know it anyway, but just in case, if you don't feel like it. Angeline says exactly. I don't know what I said earlier, but thank you for saying exactly. I'm thanking you for your agreement. Thank you so much. Tatrice says, I'm my own worst critic, right? We are. It's so true. It ain't even that people digging on us, man. Like 9 times out of 10, if people feel some type of way about us, they won't even say nothing. They won't even say nothing. They'll just keep it to themselves and they'll talk about us on their own or to their friends or whatever. But rarely does anyone walk up to you and say, man, that performance stunk. Man, what you just did stunk. Very rarely do they do that. Very rarely, right? It's our self-talk, right? Because we've been taught to find fault with ourselves. We've been taught to self-hate. We've been taught to criticize, right? We've been taught to be harsh on ourselves, to be rigid, to be rugged with ourselves. And then we just carry that over into everything that we do. And whether it's business, whether it's ministry, whether it's within our relationships, our marriage, with our children. Guys, I mean, for years, I struggled, like hard struggle with feeling like I was a good enough father, right? Like I would literally do things for my children and I would be looking, right, like a spy. I would go out, let's say I would go out, just for an example, I would go out and buy them some candy. I don't know, right? Give them the candy, but internally, right, here's the act. I'm gonna give you that candy. Then I'm looking as a dad. I'm looking. Are they gonna say thank you? Did they appreciate it? Are they more accepting of me? Right? I'm like a spy, right? I'm looking for evidence that what I did was appreciated, was approved, right? What was good enough, right? That's just one example. But I mean, I took it to many different levels, whether it's stretching the budget sometimes or spending money that you ain't got sometimes, maxing out the credit card sometimes, compromising, right, in some different areas of your life just to be a good enough dad, right? And they weren't even asking for that, right? My kids don't need nothing. They got everything, but it's my junk, right, coming through. And so now I'm doing stuff and now, okay, what was that good enough? Was that good enough, right? In my marriage, doing things for my wife with the idea that, okay, I'm gonna do this, but then I'm gonna look and I'm gonna see, okay, does she say thank you? Does she give me a kiss? Does she write me a note? Always looking for something back to communicate to us that we've done enough, that we're approved, that we're validated, right? Can you guys relate? Drop me a hashtag relate. Maybe those specific examples, right, weren't yours, but drop me a hashtag relate if you can just relate to the concept of whether you're conscious of it or not, but I'm doing this and then I'm looking for the approval. Ooh, was that good enough? Did they like that enough? Did they say thank you 1,000 times? Did they show appreciation? Right? You're doing it, and then you want to see the results. Right? Social media is a huge example. We post, okay, how many likes, how many views, how many thumbs up, how many emojis, how many comments? Did they like it? Did they approve it? Do they agree? Oh man, somebody challenged me on that. Oh man, they ain't like that. Hey, how come they didn't say nothing that time? Hey, how come they didn't comment this time? Guys, we can get into it. But let me get back to the program, right? Because I can go on for examples for a million years, and I don't want to do that. So let me jump back into the content, but let me say what's up to a few more people that I didn't get to earlier. Angeline says, I used to be guilty of comparing myself to others. She says, no more. She's done. Angeline is done with that. Yes, Dougie Doug, another New York in the building, live from New York. Got some New Yorkins, got some big city, big apples in the building today. Thank you guys for rocking with me. My man JP says, sweet. Probably talking about them books, right? Yeah, man. Listen, dude, you have impacted my life beyond what you can imagine, brother. You are always good with me. Dougie Doug, my brother. Good morning to you, my friend. And Wendy says, I'm here for the duration. Amen. All right. And she says, I can relate. Look at that. Relate. Wendy says, I can relate. Look at this. Tatrice, relate. Angeline, oh my goodness, relate. Look at all these relators. Look at all these relators, guys. We can relate. We get it. All right. So guys, I am so blessed and so privileged to share this information with you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go back to this screen because now we get to talk about, let's see if I'm sharing it. Let me just make sure that it's sharing. Yes, it is sharing. All right, let me go back here. All right, so we know what performance looks like. We're all aware of that. We all said #relate. So we get the performance mentality, the performance mindset, right? Here's the other option. Ooh, look at that. The curtain opens. Oh, yes, we have an option. You always have a choice. That's a message in a message. You always have a choice. Don't let nobody steal your choice. Angeline says, no more. That was a declaration. That was a choice. Guys, you can treat life like a performance or you can treat life like it's practice. That's right. Guys, see the difference? A performer was criticizing, finding fault. The mindset, the framework of someone who is practicing in life. Now you critique. What's the difference? Check it out. Evaluate. A detailed analysis and assessment of what? Of you. Now, everything that you do, you're looking at it through the lenses of I'm practicing. I'm just practicing, right? If you got any sports fans out there, football, basketball, right? We just had the Super Bowl. Now we're back to the NBA, right? Pretty much, guys. If I'm LeBron James, let's just say, and I'm in the gym, shooting 1,000 free throws, the expectation is not to make 1,000 free throws. The expectation is to improve incrementally over time. You can treat life that way and look at all the pressure and the weight and the stress that is relieved because now you're not trying to nail it. Now you're not trying to get a perfect 10-10-10. I don't know when the next Olympics are coming up, but I always think about the Olympics when I'm sharing this message. You ever watch those people who dive off the diving board, right? Swimmers, and they dive off the diving board, boom, they hit the water, right? They do, they dive and they do 1,000 flips and cartwheels and backflips and handstands in the air, and they hit that water, right? The very first thing, as soon as they come about that water, what are they doing? They're looking to the judge. They're looking for the judges. What are they holding up? 10s, 9s, 9, 9, 9. But they're looking for that 10-10-10, right? As a performer, you're looking for the 10-10-10, right? So you're not looking for that 10-10-10 when you're practicing. Why? Because if you took that same Olympic swimmer, take them out of competition, and now it's an empty gymnasium, and now they're just diving, Boom. Did I nail that one? Okay, boom. Okay, I got better at that one. Oh, that one I could have stayed in the air just a little longer. Okay, I'll climb back up the ladder. I'll do it again. I'm trying to draw those comparisons. The performer, the mindset is, where's my 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? I should have had some cards up here with some 10s on them, right? But the one that's practicing, you're just in the gymnasium. Pow, pow, pow. And here's where it gets sweet. People can start, go with me, use your imagination. You're on the diving board, boom, you're just hitting your dives, just hitting your dives, right? Just hitting your dives. Now there's people starting to flood into the gymnasium. They're flooding into the area where you are, and they're watching you. But you just keep hitting it, boom, hitting it, boom, hitting it, boom, hitting it. They can think whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can treat it like it's a performance. They can treat it like they're going to critique you. They can treat it like they want to watch you and judge you. But where it matters most, and truly the only place that it matters, in your mind, you're practicing. With every dive, you're just getting better and better and better. Whatever they're saying is whatever they're saying. Whatever they're doing is whatever they're doing. But see, your peace, your joy, your happiness, your approval comes from within you. So in your framework, you're just practicing. Lessons learned, guys. Here's 3 awesome advantages of approaching life as practice and not performance. Number 1, you're looking for lessons learned. How can I do that better? When I did that dive, right? And maybe we'll just stay with that analogy right now. When I did that dive, did I hit the water the way I wanted to? Okay, how come? Oh, maybe I needed to hold my head up a little higher, right? Or maybe I needed to, maybe tuck my chin a little more. And then you go up and you make the adjustments. Number 2, you're looking for improvements, right? It's incremental improvements, right? When I really got into weight training, guys, when I really, really, really got into weight training several years ago, I didn't lift on Monday thinking that I was going to increase my bicep size by 2 inches on Wednesday. I just wanted to maximize the workout on Monday, knowing that after 3 to 4 months, I'll see an adjustment. I'll see an incremental adaptation. Now, at some point in time, I got some really huge arms. Like, people would comment a lot. Like, my arms got really, really big because that was my favorite body part. I love working my arms. I love weightlifting. And but by the time they started to comment on the arms, I had been doing that for 2 to 3 years. I had been doing that for 2 to 3 years. It wasn't do it on Monday, see the results on Wednesday. So guys, we're looking for incremental improvements. Now you become, as I like to say, you begin to enjoy the process. You begin to enjoy the process. The idea that my body works a certain way, that if I continue to lift this weight, if I continue to eat this way, if I continue to drink this amount of water, if I continue to take these vitamins, if I continue to, walk the path of this regimen, then eventually over time, I'm going to see results. It's not a do it today. I've got to nail it today. It's incremental, right? So the practicer, the person that practices, you see incremental improvements. And then lastly, areas for growth. Again, guys, it's all about this idea of how do we learn something to move it forward? How do we look for improvements to move it forward? Areas of growth. Growth is gradual. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Growth is gradual, right? Most of us come out the womb, 4 or 5 pounds. Somebody drop me a hashtag if you knew how much you weighed as a baby. Right. Watch this. If you guys are on live and you knew how much you weighed as a baby, can you guys drop me how much you weighed as a baby? And I don't want to ask your current weight. I don't want to go there, right? That's just was a TMI, too much information. So, but if you knew how much you weighed as a baby, right? Just a fun fact. Let's just play games, right? Just a fun fact. How much did you weigh as a baby, right? Because my point is that practicing is areas for growth. Growth is gradual. As a baby, we came out the womb. I think I was like maybe 7 pounds, right? Something like that, right? Today, I'm like over 200 pounds, right? I probably came out the womb, I don't know, maybe like this big. I mean, I don't know, who knows, right? But today I'm 5, whatever, 5'9", 5'10", whatever it is. My point is growth is over time, and you can give yourself relief. Someone out there needs to hear Relieve yourself of the overnight success, of the overnight pressure. Relieve yourself of having to do it fast and to do it quick and to get someone's approval. And now we're going to go into how to do that, guys. All right, guys, I want to give you a quick example. Like I started off today's broadcast, I told you I was going to give you guys a real life example. Just really quick, guys, just really quick. I had the amazing opportunity to speak for CASE Preparatory School. I think that's how you say it, preparatory school, in Akron, Ohio. And it was a Zoom meeting, guys, right? I think we started at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? 7 o'clock in the morning. And I jump on a Zoom call, right? This was this past week. I had the opportunity to speak with 7th and 8th graders, right? And right now, everything's virtual, right? Everything is virtual. Matter of fact, let me stop sharing for a minute just to come back, just to make this more personal, more personable. So anyway, guys, had the opportunity to speak at this school, right? And it's on Zoom. So, on Zoom, you're used to having all of these little squares. Let me close something over here real quick. You're used to having all of the little squares on the screen, right? Because I had just done a singles conference the previous, Saturday, right? And so doing all of these virtual, conferences, you're used to having the little squares on the screen. And you're used to telling people, hey, unmute yourself, right? Because I'm very interactive, right? I'm very energetic, right? And so I want to interact with the crowd, right? Wendy knows because she's seen me speak at the church. I always have volunteers come up. We always do practical examples. And so I'm coming into this, CASE middle school presentation with the expectation that I am going to interact with these kids. I got my PowerPoint slide ready, man. I'm jazzed up. I'm about to do this thing and we're going to have a good time. And we cut the camera on. Zoom meeting comes up, and this is no dig on them, right? They did nothing wrong. It was my expectations, right? So the Zoom meeting comes on and they're in a classroom, right? They all got the masks. They're doing the social distancing thing. It's all good. But they're like way back in the back in the classroom. And so instantly my depth perception of the situation was like they were way back off the screen. And so whenever I would talk to them and ask them a question, I would have to kind of, hey, can you repeat that? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you say your name one more time? And then the teacher, it got so bad that the teacher had to get involved, right? She had to get involved to kind of like translate, because they were far in the back and they were interacting. I mean, they were answering questions. They were interacting, right? But I couldn't hear them. And so, guys, I'm so into how I do things, right? I'm going to interact and I'm going to practical examples and I'm asking questions and make it personal, right? I'm so jazzed. I'm going to do my thing. I'm so into that I took up like 15 minutes. I had a 30-minute presentation. I took up like 15 minutes trying to get answers to my questions and trying to interact. Well, guys, at 7:21, I look up at 7:21 and I had like 6 or 7 PowerPoint slides still to go. I hadn't even dove into my PowerPoint yet. I hadn't even gotten to the main point yet. Man, come on, man. I don't know if you've ever been in that position. Somebody dropped me a hashtag, been there, where you had it all figured out in your brain, right? In your mind, it was going to go like this. And it didn't go like this. Drop me a hashtag, I've been there. Hashtag, I've been there. You had it in your mind how it was going to go, and it didn't go that way. It didn't go bad. It just didn't go the way you expected it to go. So long story short, or probably not shorter because I've told the story now, but 7:21, I got all these slides to go. I'm apologizing. Hey guys, I apologize. I got to get through these slides. So I'm like fat. I'm going through every slide. Can barely explain everything. Can barely get my words out. I'm just trying to get through the slides at this point. Okay, got through the slides. Hopefully made the point I was trying to make. From my experience, right? I know that like when you do a presentation, people normally retain like 20% of what you say. And so I know that as a speaker, that my main objective is just to communicate one idea, right? And so sometimes how you do that is you just keep reiterating the same point. So I just kept saying the same point over and over and over and over and over, hoping that it just stuck, hoping that that one seed was planted, right? Because all them other slides, man, I know they didn't know what was going on with me. Now, why do I share that story? Why do I share that story? I share that story because I could have approached that presentation like a performer, right? The critic, the judge, the comparisons, right? The wins, the losses. Or I could approach it like I'm practicing. Now, I'm gonna be 100 with you. When I shut the Zoom meeting down, man, I had to like pause for a moment. I had to gather myself because this is what happened. And let me just throw this in there. I got to 7:30, and I don't know if you've ever been in like a corporate meeting or like a meeting or something like that, and you have a stop time, right? You have a stop time, and then you would like ask the people, hey, I know we're at our time, but do we got like 5 more minutes to go? Maybe 5-10 more minutes to go? And they'll say, okay, yeah, sure, that teacher said, nope, we're done. Ace. She said, we are at our time. The next class is coming in. This class is going out. It is over with. Finito. You are done. Now, she didn't do it like bad or anything like that. She wasn't rude, but it was like an abrupt stop. It was like abrupt for me. And so I'm sitting there, I'm feeling some type of way. I'm in my feelings a little bit like, dang, man. Did I do a good job? I was given this opportunity to invest in these young people's lives. Like, man, did I get it across? Did I say something that mattered? Like, man, I was given 30 minutes, and what did I do with those 30 minutes? Like, did I get it across? Was I so into me and blah, 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 yeah. I was going down the path of performance. I'm going to judge myself. I'm going to criticize myself. I'm going to find fault in myself. Yeah. And then it dawns on me. I have a choice. Going down the performance path would get me nothing but judgment, criticism, frustration. But if I choose to look at what I just did as practice, because I'm going to have other opportunities to speak. I'm going to speak to young people again. I'm going to have another virtual conference. I'm going to speak to people online and in person again. This ain't the last time. As a person who practices, what did I learn? Well, I learned that I cannot be stuck on one way of presenting and try to force my way of presenting, even when the situation obviously calls for something different. And it wasn't that I wasn't able to adjust. I was just so into how I was going to do it and how this picture that I painted, how it was going to, turn out. It wasn't that I didn't have the ability. I've been speaking over 20 years. It's not that I didn't have the skill set, right? I've been a corporate presenter. I mean, I've presented to every type of crowd, age group that you could think of. It wasn't that I couldn't. It was just that I just preferred to do it a certain way. And so I can look at it and say, okay, well, practice. Okay. The next time it doesn't go the way I think it's going to go, I'm going to respond like this. I'm going to make this adjustment and that adjustment, and I'm going to serve that audience. I'm going to show up for that audience because now I have that. Remember earlier, lessons learned. I have now areas to grow. One of the areas I can grow in is not being so fixed and fixated on what I want the moment to look like. I can now be more fluid, more loose, more accommodating, right, for me. So I just wanted to share that story with you guys because maybe you guys can relate to that story, guys. All right, let's get back to this information real quick here. And I want to get back to some of these comments, guys. Let me know that you're in the building. If you're just now joining, that was the case at case. That was that story, guys. Let me wrap it up here. All right. So we have a choice, guys. We have a choice. We can live from approval, not for approval. You guys have heard me talk about living from significance, not for significance, right? The same rule applies. We can live from approval, not for approval. John 6:37. For all those the Father gives me will come to me, and whoever comes to me, I will never drive away. Guys, we can be rooted in our relationship with Christ, with Jesus, with God, with Creator, with Holy Spirit. We can have such a relationship with God, our Creator, our source, our origin. We can begin our day, we can begin our activities, we can begin our presentations with a consciousness to living from approval. We don't have to play the comparisons game because I'm already approved. So I don't need your applause necessarily. I don't need a big pat on the back necessarily. I'm no longer clinging to, I'm no longer dependent on, I'm no longer a slave to the public's approval of me, because now I get to enter into every situation pre-approved. Somebody drop me a hashtag. I am pre-approved. My goodness, guys, we are pre-approved. You ever get a credit card in the mail and they say, okay, $500, you are pre-approved. You ain't got to jump through no hoops. You ain't got to submit no extra information. Listen, this is the real card. It's already yours. Just go activate it. The money is on there, the line of credit, whatever it is. It has been pre-approved based on other criteria that we've already, set up for you. And it don't take nothing for you to do nothing. Guys, we can choose to live that life. We can choose to live a pre-approved life. Somebody drop me a hashtag live on the replay, a pre-approved life out of your relationship with Christ. You can wake up every morning, whether it's through affirmations, whether it's through just prayer, whether it's through meditation, right? Whatever it is for you guys, you can begin your day, your presentation, your activities. You can begin a conversation with a friend, right? Because sometimes we're having conversations with people looking for their approval. That's our actual end goal. And then they don't say what we want them to say, or how they don't say it how we want them to say it. And then we walk away all discouraged and all disheartened because we didn't get enough from them to signify, oh, they approved me, right? So you can enter every situation in your life knowing that the one who created you, the one from which you've originated, your source of life, the one that matters most, your audience of one. We're talking about being on a stage, guys. You have an audience of one. And he has already approved you. He says, I'll never drive you away. I'll never shun you, right? Just looking at this image on the screen. You ever see those movies where someone's out there, they're performing, they're doing their thing, they're performing, and then they start throwing rotten apples, and they start throwing tomatoes, and they start throwing chairs. Boo! Get them out of here. Get them out of here, right? Live at the Apollo, right? Get them out. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. To the left. Go get them off the stage. And they come with the big hook and get them off the stage. God is saying, Jesus is saying, I ain't never going to boo you off the stage. I ain't never going to boo you off the stage. But we have that choice, guys. We can approach it like that. We can approach it like that. Check this out. Check this out, guys. This one came to me this morning. Practice ain't just for doctors and lawyers. You know how they say, doctors, they're practicing medicine. Lawyers, we're practicing law. I want you to declare in your own life, practice ain't just for doctors and lawyers. You can practice whatever you're doing. I don't care what you're doing, whatever your occupation is, whatever your vocation is, whatever your profession is, whatever your job, whatever your ministry is, whatever your talent, right, is, whatever your gifts are, whatever you find yourself a part of, guys, you can practice it. You can practice it versus performing. Now, there is a time and a place to perform. There's nothing. I'm not anti-performance. I'm offering another approach, another perspective on how you go about the things that you're going about in your life. Okay. So I'm not against performance. They have their time and place, right? But guys, for the most part, when we're just out doing our thing just on a normal daily basis, I don't know if being a performer, always on stage, always having to be on, right, the mask, right, always having to be on, it is very healthy for you. Okay. So you can practice, guys. It ain't just for doctors and it ain't just for lawyers, guys. All right. Last slide here. Wrap it up. And then I'm going to say what up to some of my good people that have joined. If there's any questions, drop me questions. If you have any comments, drop me a comment, whatever it is. I want to chop it up. I want to dialogue with you guys. I don't want this to be a one-way communication, right? I know it's virtual, but as much as we can, connect and chop it up on these Saturday broadcasts, I really, really want to do that with you guys. All right. We are always learning, never, ever losing. One of the elements when we talk about performing is this idea of losing. Oh, I lost the race. Oh, I lost the competition. Oh, I lost this, I lost that. And then we can carry that win-loss mentality into every area of our lives. And I want you to know something. According to the word of God, 1 Timothy 6, for we have brought nothing into the world. So it is clear that we cannot take anything out of it either. Guys, life is nothing but winning. It's nothing but learning. It's nothing but evolving. It's nothing but growth. You are never losing. Loss is a mindset. Losing is a mindset. Now, again, with respect to those of us who play sports and who are involved in competitions where there is a actual judge and someone has to win and someone has to lose, I get that. The context of today's broadcast and the framework that I'm dealing with is in the framework of my everyday, day-to-day activities, my normal activities when I'm on my job, in relationships, with my children, with my spouse, with my friends. You are always learning. You are never, ever losing. You didn't bring anything into this world. You can take nothing out. So life, this thing that we call life, this life experience, right? The here and the now, you're doing nothing but gaining. You're doing nothing but gaining. The more things you expose yourself to, the more environments you find yourself in, the more information you intake, you're doing nothing but expanding. Now, obviously, we can expand in the negative. We can expand in the positive, right? I was talking earlier about increasing my capacity to better serve you, to level up my love this year. But guys, that's my intention. So I'm going to feed my mind through the things I read, watch, listen to, people I surround myself with. All those things I want to be conducive to how I want to grow. So the only difference is whether or not you're conscious to how you're growing. But at the end of the day, you're growing positively or negatively, but you're growing. You are doing nothing but growing. You're doing nothing but consuming. You're doing nothing but gaining. You are never, ever, ever losing. And so one of the things that I wanted, one of the purposes, one of the intentions today was to make sure that you guys walked out of here, or not walked out of here, right? I'm so ready to get back in person. But for you guys to shut this broadcast down with the idea that I ain't never losing. Never, ever, 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 ever. Somebody drop me a hashtag, please. I'm never losing. Hashtag, I'm never losing. Say that of yourself. Say that of thyself. I'm never losing, because you're not. I'm never losing. You're not. It's fact. You know how they say hashtag fact 100, right? Right. Drop the mics and all the other stuff. It's just fact. You're never losing, guys. When you really pause and think about it, loss is a concept. It's a mindset. Again, in this context, okay, we got to keep it in this context, right? Of this performer or practicer, performing or practicing, perform or practice framework. Not just, there's other times where, we lose a loved one, right? And even then there's an argument. You still don't lose them. Maybe they're not where they were in the physical, but you still didn't lose them, right? But I don't want to go there because that's a sensitive topic, and I don't know where you guys are or your family, situation. So I never want to come off like I'm being insensitive, right? But I just wanted to kind of express, guys, you can take it to the greatest degree when it comes to this idea that you're never losing. But I don't want anyone else to to leave this broadcast with the idea that you could possibly lose. No, you didn't bring nothing in this world. You ain't taking nothing out. You came in naked. We do what we do for whatever reasons and purposes, right? I don't have enough time in this broadcast to get into that. But hey, we came in naked, empty. We're not empty, but we came in naked, ain't have nothing. We do what we do, and then we get up out of here, on to the next chapter. But you're never losing. You're never at a loss. You're always winning. You're always gaining. Let me say what up to some more of these people before I jump up out of here. Guys, I want to say how much I appreciate you guys so very much. Angeline says, absolutely, bro. We love and support you. Love and support you too, Angeline. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jimmy Bryson, my man. Yes, that's my fam right there. He says, take a deep breath and say, I am the possible. Yes, that's what's up, man. Yes. You are the possible. Hashtag you are the possible. Good stuff. It says good stuff. Maynard, good stuff. All right. Who's the Maynard? Maynard, good stuff. Maynard. Was that someone else that was on the broadcast, Maynard? Or was that something else? Sister Wendy, let me know what that means, Maynard. I just want to make sure I'm grasping it. Okay, cool. Dougie Doug says, improved incrementally. Absolutely, man. That's what's up. LOL. Angeline, I don't remember. Okay, cool. No problem. JP says incremental improvements. Yes. Okay. Oh, here come the baby side. The baby weights. Oh, that's what Angeline said. I don't remember. Okay, cool. No problem. Okay, Wendy says 6 pounds. Wendy got it down to the ounces. Oh my goodness. Wendy got it down to the ounces. That's what's up. Dougie Doug says 9 pounds, bro. Whoa, let me show Dougie Doug. Yeah, man. You came out grown, man. See, ready to take over the world, man. Dougie Doug on some good stuff. Dougie Doug got some plans for us, man. Dougie Doug is working on a master plan, right? I forgot that song, Thinking of a Master Plan. Ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand. Oh my goodness, Rakim. That's Doug right there. That brother working on a master plan. 9 pounds, bro. That's what's up. That's what's happening. Wendy says, look at me now. Yes, look at me now. And I don't know if you're talking about me, you, but hey, look at you now. Thank God for you. I thank God and I praise God for your life every single day. Thank you so much, sis. JP says, yep, I've been there. Yeah, absolutely. Dougie Doug says I've been there. Sorry about the background noise. I try to keep the windows open because a brother get all sweaty and hot and whatnot. So I be all animated. Wendy says been there. Dougie Doug says I can relate. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Let me wipe this sweat out of my. I gotta find my little rag, man. I gotta get my rag. See how that's little. Get all excited, man. Y'all get me all excited. Y'all get me all jazzed up, man. LaWanda is in the building. What's going on, Millennial Minister? What's happening with you? Yes, Sister Wilson is in the building. She says, good morning. This is awesome content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Trying to do my thing. I'm trying to do my thing out here, trying to help some folks, trying to help myself. This stuff ministers in me. This stuff gets down in my soul. The more I share it with you, it's a win-win. It gets down in my soul as well. JP says, I am pre-approved. Yeah, I'm going to back up off this mic because all them P's be popping, man. Pop. Pre-approved. Angeline says, yes, thank you, my brother. Angeline says, awesome live. Your content is off the charts. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I'm trying out here. I believe in something. So, spoiler alert. These Saturdays are practice for me. It's not that I'm not going to continue to do the Saturday broadcast, but I just know that I got to keep practicing to get better at my craft, right? To get better at my communication skills and my communication style. So I look at these Saturdays as ways to critique myself so that I can increase that capacity to better serve you guys, right? And like I said earlier, level up my love. How do you level up your love? Is by growing in your capacity. How do you grow in your capacity, right? By being able to honestly critique, not criticize, but honestly critique. And the only way that you're going to critique something is by doing it a whole lot. And then, like I said earlier, looking at what you've done through the lenses of assessment. Let me assess myself. So thank you so much, Angeline. I'm working on it. That's all I can say is each week I'll just look to get better, right? And in the process, my hope is that someone else out there with a gift or a talent some sort of vision from God that they have, they might come along, catch my broadcast, and be able to, look at me and say, wow, that guy, looking at his past, look at what he's doing. Okay, well, this guy, I don't know what they rank public speaking as the level of fear. I think it's like number 1 or 2 when it comes to like snakes and spiders and heights, right? But like public speaking it's at least 1 or 2, right? But a lot of us out there, we have something of quality to say, some great content, but we're afraid of the camera. We're afraid to share what God's given us because of the very thing that we talked about today. We're looking for perfection, and it's not about perfection. I have found that I have, touched more lives with my imperfection, right? I've touched more lives by being genuine and authentic and not performing for you, right? When I do this live, I get excited. I'm happy, right? I mean, like, I love what I do. I love doing these things, but I'm very clear that I'm not performing for you, right? I can't cling to your comments. I love your comments. I want your comments. I love dialoguing. But the framework is I can't rely on it, right? Just last week, I didn't get this much interaction, right? Let me just keep it 100. Last week, when I went live, I didn't get this much interaction. Now, just think, if I'm dependent on the interaction, if I'm dependent on the number of people that show up, then last week would have took me out the box. It would have took me out, right? Because barely nobody joined, nobody jumped on for whatever reason. People got lives. I ain't tripping. People got lives, right? But I'm just sharing out of my heart because, guys, that's what touches and that's what helps people more than anything else. Not a perfect, polished presentation, but our humanity, right? So whatever you're doing, guys, review it, do it, and then review it. That was something else that God gave me. I meant to put it on a slide. Do it and review it. Do it and review it, and just get better. Do it and review it, and then just get better. Thank you so much, Angeline. Wendy says, I am pre-approved. Yes, you are. Dougie Doug says, I appreciate you, my brother. I am on my way to work now. Go and get your grind on, my bruh, and have to replay the rest. Cool, later on. Awesome. This is one tight live. I love this. I love that old school. That was said tight. That's what's up. See, we're in that same age range right there, boy. Or only the 40 and above use the word tight. Only 40 and above. That's it. That if you are younger than 40 years of age, you don't use the word tight. That was from our days, the 80s and the 90s, baby. That's what's up, Dougie Doug, man. I appreciate you, man. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Wendy says growth. Yes. Hashtag grow, guys. Grow. Yes. Dougie Doug says, I'm never losing. No, Wendy, never losing. No, you're not. Absolutely. My man JP says, this is a great message about practicing. I believe it was Ali who talked about how his fights were not won in the ring in front of thousands of people. His fights were won in the gym when no one was around. He was practicing all the time. Great message as usual, my brother. Thank you. Now may I have permission to use that for when I teach this again? Again, these Saturdays, these are practices, man. These are practices. I'm gonna be speaking this for a long time. I'm gonna be sharing this all around the world, man. This ain't this. So I want to put that into enhance real life examples, right? Enhance the vision, enhance the message, enhance the delivery. That's a dope point right there. I never knew that about Ali. And I mean, look at how great he was, right? Look at what he accomplished by that mindset. So see, I love those stories and those examples because it points to past tense. No one can dispute Ali's impact socially, in the sports world. No one can take those titles away. No one can take those wins away. No one can take what he did away. No one can take the stand he took away. You can't wipe that out the history books. That happened, as we say, that happened. And look at the approach that he took. That's awesome. That is truly, truly awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. Angeline says, talk to you later, bro. Gotta run. Absolutely. Do your thing, sis. I know you busy. I know you do your thing. Yes. Thank you so much. My man, EB, Unc, what's going on with your Unc? PT, always positive, always uplifting, always real. Continue to be the leader God has called you to be. Thank you so much, man. That's my uncle right there. EB, again, shout out and salute to Pasadena Church. I got some Pasadena Church fam on the broadcast this morning. That is awesome. Thank you guys for rocking with me this morning. Yes, man, I absolutely will. Yeah, I absolutely will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Each day, each week, just trying to get better, man. Every week, just trying to improve, man. Thank you so much. Wendy says, showing my age. Oh, Maynard G. Cribs 60s show. Okay. I gotta look that up then. I gotta check that out there. Okay, 60s show. Is that the name? Is like a sitcom? Like a sitcom? It says a 60s show, but I'm gonna look that name up. So I can know what you're referring to. I say showing my age. I'm showing my age today too. I hear you. JP says, yes, that's all you, brother. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, right. That's tight. Right, exactly. And ready says emoji prayer. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for rocking with me. And Wendy said years. Okay, cool. Listen, guys, that is it. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me this Saturday. Again, guys, if you found value in this broadcast, will you share it out? Will you let someone know that the I Am the Possible Universe is happening every Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I don't know the other ones, right? Central and Mountain. So I'm not sure about the other times, but hey, that's why I love social media. It's there. It's on the timeline. You can pick it up later on. You ain't got to be on live. You can just pick it up when you can. So that was one of the reasons that I love to go live and just lock it in, because it's there when you do have time and you can rock with me later on. All right. Love you guys. Praying for you guys. Believing in you guys. I pray that you guys have just an amazing Saturday. Be good to yourself, right? Make time for yourself, guys. Everything that I do, it's always under this concept, this blanket, this framework, right? That the greatest form of self-development is self-discovery, right? And one of the things that I've discovered about self and about self-called society is that we tend to that we tend to perform. We tend to perform trying to get our approval. And the fact is, we came into this world pre-approved. God has always loved us. He will continue to love us. Nothing we will ever do or say will change that. His love is abounding in your life. And he wants to show that love and express that love. And he wants you to experience that love. And yet it is a choice. We still must choose to be loved, right? If that makes sense. So I pray that something I've said, shown, or done today has inspired you, has edified you, has built you up in the faith, and has some way, somehow revived your hope for what's possible, your possibilities. All right. You guys be good. I am out. Peace.